All right, what's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk about powering the Blackmagic Pixus 6K. Real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to B&H for sending out the Pixus for me to test and review. This is a loaner unit. Sadly, I have to send it back, but I do plan on adding one of these to my permanent kit because I think this is just an absolutely fantastic camera. But huge shout out to B&H for sending this out to me. I will leave links to all this stuff down in the description below. You can check out, I do all my shopping at B&H, which is probably where I'll be doing my shopping for all the things Pixus related. So if that's not an endorsement for this camera, I don't know what is, but my endorsement shouldn't really mean anything because I'm just one dude on the internet talking about cameras. You should go out and rent the camera yourself to see if it fits your workflow. But if it does end up fitting your workflow and you're wanting to figure out how to power the camera, well, I've got two of, honestly, in my opinion, the best options to power the camera. So let's go ahead and get into it and talk about those two in general, and then we'll talk about how I specifically have been doing it. Number one, you can use the 2-pin LEMO port here on the back, and you can either use AC power or you can use a power distribution plate. I've got one here, but there are all kinds of different brands that are out there to use for power distribution. And then just use a D-tap cable to 2-pin LEMO to power the camera that way. And that's great because if you use something like that, then you can power other accessories from that same power module. So that's really cool. The other way is to use the internal battery tray. And what is really cool about this is you don't have to go out and get a separate battery module like you do. Like when I bought the Ursa Mini Pro G2, I had to go out and buy the V-mount battery plate module thing for it as well. So it's cool that this is built in. So right out of the box, if you just get a battery, you could be up and running. And if you're just running the Pixus monitor, which I have on pre-order, you're good to go. You have power to your monitor and to your camera off of one battery, and that's really cool. Now the problem is with that is if you want to run any other accessories or you're not running the Pixus monitor, then you're going to either have to run those accessories off of different batteries. A lot of times it's the like NPF style batteries, which means you're going to have multiple battery chargers to manage, whether you're on set or traveling or whatever the case may be. And that's just no fun. I mean, for me personally, I want to have one battery system to power like an entire camera system. And that's where these batteries come in. This is the Core U98X batteries. Real quick, just want to give a shout out to Core for sending these out. Core makes, in my opinion, I think they make the best batteries out there on the market for camera systems. I have been using their batteries for a number of years now. In fact, I had my Komodo X just off of camera for something else, but this is one of their older batteries, the Core V150, the nano micro batteries. I've got a number of these when I got my OG Komodo years ago, and ever since then I have just trusted Core batteries with all of my camera systems. And in fact, like my buddy Griff, he has a Canon C70 and he's got the Canon version of these batteries and has run those on a C70 quite a bit. And that's the first time where I actually saw these and just saw how useful these things were for smaller camera systems that have like an internal battery tray. So the Core U98X battery, what is so special about this battery? There's three things I think that really make this stand out, maybe four. First of all, it's got a D-tap port on the front, and this is really nice because if you're not running the Pixus monitor, you're running like something like this is a small HD 702 Touch, probably one of my favorite monitors ever. This needs to be powered either with NPF batteries or with a barrel connection from D-tap, for example. So that's typically how I like to power it. It just keeps the weight of the monitor down and less stress on the monitor mount. And this allows me to just power right through D-tap, which is really cool. The other thing is it has a USB-C port on it as well. And this allows you to either send power out or take power in. So you can actually charge the battery from the USB-C port, which is super cool. I mean, if you're traveling, you just bring a couple of USB-C chargers. That's way smaller than a BP style battery charger or whatever else. So having USB-C power in to charge, that's super cool. But the USB-C out is really nice because, like for me, I use the Tilta Nucleus Nano 2 wireless follow focus system, and the motor uses USB-C. So it's just nice that like the two most common ports that I use to the power monitor and the follow focus are both on there, which is pretty cool. Now it has a little check function here on the back to give you some 4 LED indicators to give you like an idea of where your battery is at, and that's mostly helpful for if your batteries are off camera and you just want to make sure, check real quick, like, oh yeah, this one's full, then go put it on. But the really cool thing about these batteries, and reason why I trust Core, is because like they're a battery company. Like that's what they do. They don't have like tripods and camera stabilizers and lenses and also monitors and batteries. Like they just make batteries, and they know batteries very, very well. So that's why I trust Core batteries. And the cool thing is when you plug it in, you power it on, it actually communicates with the camera, and it communicates the battery percentage. You actually get battery percentage on your on-screen display, which is really cool. Same thing with my Komodo X with the Core batteries, this one and this one right here. Same thing, it communicates battery percentage. And that's just really handy to have on you know, when you're looking up, because it's a lot easier to see, oh, I'm at 53% battery, as opposed to, oh, I'm at 13.4 volts, and I don't even know if that equates to 50% right off the top of my head. And that's exactly my point. It's like you can see a battery percentage, and it's like immediate. Like it's really handy to have. So I've gotten really used to that with on my Komodo X and my OG Komodo when I had that. Just to have battery percentage, it's just really nice to have that on camera. So that's one option. So obviously you plug in your D-tap right here for your monitor. Now the one thing you have to keep in mind is, you know, when this battery drains, then you need to follow the SDI protocol, power everything down, and then do your battery swap. But the great thing about the Blackmagic cameras, like the Pixus, like the power cycle is so quick that it doesn't really take that much time out of your workflow on set. Like with the Komodo X, I do everything I can to hot swap batteries because it takes forever for the camera to power cycle. So with the Blackmagic cameras, I mean, it takes like, what, 10 seconds to power up. So yeah, so that's like a workflow thing that's not really that big of a deal to me. So if you're running a pretty stripped down setup like this, then these batteries are fantastic. Now, if you're running multiple things, say you're running an external monitor that's not the Pixus monitor, but you also want to run a Teradek unit and all that stuff, well then that's where something like a power distribution plate comes in. So right here, I've got this is the Tilta, the PD Mini V-mount plate, I think that's what it's called. And this is a pretty new product, but there are other power distribution plates out there. This one's great because it has 2-pin LEMO on either side and then D-tap on either side, and then it can fit on 15mm rails. And then I like to power all my cameras. Again, this is a Core battery, so this is their new Nano X battery. It's a 150 watt hour, and this thing will run the camera for quite a while. And it's got this little strap on here. I actually think it's like kind of handy. I had it last week. I was on a shoot, and the strap actually came in handy because I actually needed to run this plate on the camera system, but I actually flipped it upside down just as a counterbalance, and I used that. Anyways, it's a whole thing. But the strap is just like another added protection to like keep everything nice and snug. But even if you have like a wireless transmission unit or something that didn't have Velcro or anything, you can actually like just slide it in here and like cinch it down, which is pretty cool. And then I've got this D-tap cable here from Condor Blue, and you just power it here, plug it in here, plug it in here, and then now you have power to your camera. And if you wanted to, you could theoretically run either this battery or one of the smaller Sony batteries in here if you wanted to, so that, you know, if you for some reason were on a really long record and you didn't want to turn the camera off, but still wanted to have, wanted to keep it running, recording, but you needed to change your V-mount battery. If you had this in here as well at the same time, then your camera would never power down. So that is definitely an option. But this just allows you right here to power multiple accessories like a Teradek unit or a different wireless follow focus unit that maybe uses DTAP or 2-pin LEMO or something to power. This also does have a Type-C out, so you can power some accessories like that as well. I love these batteries here, the U98Xs, because of the DTAP, USB-C, and then all the other stuff that I was talking about. So this is what happens when I make a video just off the cuff and don't script things in a super messy garage. So I'm not apologizing for it. I'm just letting you know that's how things rock and roll in my world lately. But yeah, love this camera. It's a fantastic camera, but I love these batteries. Core, they're like the only battery company that I trust. There are other ones out there, but Core, they seem to be pushing the envelope on a lot of things, and I just trust them as a battery company because that's all they do. Like if you go to a dedicated battery company, they're going to have the right batteries for you, and Core seems to be making batteries for a number of different camera systems and not just V-mount or gold mount batteries. So anyways, thank you for watching. Links will be in the description, and see you in the comments. Have a good time. You can party on in the comments. Just be nice to everybody, and if you're not nice, then I'll just delete you from the channel because there's no need to be mean to anybody. So thanks so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.